What's up, fitness fam? Before you skip this video thinking you've heard it all before, let me blow your mind with something that's been hiding in plain sight. There's a muscle group that literally every single person watching this right now is probably neglecting, and it's sabotaging your gains in ways you never imagined. I'm talking about a group so fundamental that ignoring it is like trying to build a skyscraper on quicksand. Now I know what you're thinking. Another fitness YouTuber claiming he's discovered some revolutionary secret muscle group that will transform your physique overnight. But hear me out, because what I'm about to share isn't some gimmicky trend or exotic exercise you've never heard of. This is about muscles you use every single day, muscles that are working right now as you watch this video, yet somehow they've become the forgotten stepchildren of the fitness world. The secret muscle group I'm talking about is your deep stabilizing muscles, specifically your transverse abdominis, your multifidus, your pelvic floor, and your diaphragm. These four work together as what exercise physiologists call your inner core unit, and they're the foundation upon which every single movement you make is built. Without proper function of these muscles, you're essentially trying to fire a cannon from a canoe. Think about it this way. You've probably spent countless hours perfecting your bench press, your squat, your deadlift, maybe even your bicep curls. But when was the last time you specifically trained the muscles that provide the stable platform for all those movements to happen efficiently? It's like upgrading your car's engine while completely ignoring the chassis that holds everything together. Here's where it gets really interesting. These deep stabilizers don't work like your typical gym muscles. They're not about generating force or creating movement. Instead, they're about creating what we call intra-abdominal pressure and spinal stability. When they're firing properly, they create this internal corset that protects your spine and allows your prime movers to work at their maximum potential. But here's the kicker. Most people have completely lost the ability to activate these muscles properly. Years of sitting, poor breathing patterns, and focusing only on the show muscles have essentially put these crucial stabilizers to sleep. It's like having a Ferrari with the parking brake on. You might still be able to drive, but you're nowhere near reaching your potential. The transverse abdominis is probably the most important muscle you've never heard of. It's the deepest layer of your abdominal muscles, wrapping around your torso like a natural weight belt. When it contracts properly, it pulls your belly button gently toward your spine and creates that internal pressure I mentioned. But here's what's crazy. Studies show that people with lower back pain often have delayed or reduced activation of this muscle, sometimes by hundreds of milliseconds. Now let's talk about the multifidus. These are tiny muscles that run along your spine, connecting vertebra to vertebra. They're like the guy wires on a suspension bridge, providing precise control and stability to each individual spinal segment. When these muscles aren't working properly, your spine becomes wobbly and unstable, forcing your larger muscles to work overtime to compensate. The pelvic floor muscles are another crucial piece of this puzzle that most people completely ignore. These muscles form a hammock-like support system at the bottom of your pelvis. They work in coordination with your diaphragm to help control intra-abdominal pressure. When you breathe in, both the diaphragm and pelvic floor should lower slightly. When you breathe out and create stability, both should lift and engage. Speaking of the diaphragm, this isn't just your breathing muscle. It's actually a crucial part of your core stability system. Proper diaphragmatic breathing creates the perfect environment for your other deep stabilizers to activate efficiently. Most people are stuck in shallow, chest-based breathing patterns that completely shut down this system. Now here's where this gets really practical. When these muscles aren't working properly, you'll hit plateaus in your training that seem impossible to break through. Your squat might stall because your core can't provide adequate stability. Your shoulder might hurt during pressing movements because your trunk isn't providing a stable base. Your lower back might ache after deadlifts because your deep stabilizers aren't doing their job. But when you start training these muscles properly, something magical happens. Suddenly that squat that felt impossibly heavy becomes manageable. Your pressing strength increases not because your chest and shoulders got stronger, but because you have a more stable platform to press from. Your lower back pain disappears because your spine finally has the support it needs. The best part is that training these muscles doesn't require fancy equipment or hours in the gym. In fact, you can start working on them right now, sitting exactly where you are. Place one hand on your chest and one on your belly. Take a slow breath in through your nose, allowing only the bottom hand to rise while the top hand stays relatively still. Now as you breathe out, gently draw your belly button toward your spine. That subtle engagement you feel is your transverse abdominis waking up. But proper activation is just the beginning. These muscles need to be trained for endurance, not strength. They're designed to provide stability for hours at a time, not to create short bursts of maximum force. This means longer holds, more repetitions, and constant awareness of their activation during daily activities. One of my favorite exercises for developing this system is what I call the dead bug progression. Lying on your back with your knees bent and feet flat, slowly lift one knee toward your chest while maintaining that gentle belly button to spine connection. The goal isn't to lift your leg as high as possible, but to maintain perfect spinal stability while challenging the system with movement. Another game changer is learning to activate these muscles during compound movements. Before you squat, take that deep breath, engage your pelvic floor and transverse abdominis, and maintain that stability throughout the entire movement. Before you deadlift, create that internal pressure and keep it locked in. This isn't just about safety, it's about maximizing performance. Here's what nobody tells you about training these muscles. Progress is subtle and takes patience. You won't see dramatic changes overnight like you might with your biceps or chest. But after a few weeks of consistent training, you'll start noticing improvements in your other exercises. Your form will feel more stable, your weights will feel lighter, and those nagging aches and pains will start to disappear. The real secret is making this training part of your daily routine, not just something you do in the gym. Every time you stand up from a chair, engage your deep core. Every time you lift something, create that internal stability first. Every time you walk upstairs, maintain awareness of these muscles working. This constant practice is what retrains your nervous system to use these muscles automatically. What's particularly exciting about focusing on these often ignored muscles is that they're the great equalizer. Whether you're a beginner just starting your fitness journey or an advanced athlete looking to break through plateaus, everyone can benefit from better deep stability. Age doesn't matter. Current fitness level doesn't matter. What matters is starting to pay attention to these foundational muscles. So here's your challenge. For the next 2 weeks, spend just 5 minutes every morning working on deep core activation. Practice that gentle belly button to spine engagement. Work on coordinating your breathing with pelvic floor activation. Start incorporating awareness of these muscles into your regular workouts. I guarantee you'll start noticing improvements in ways you never expected. Remember, the strongest, most impressive physique in the world is only as good as the foundation it's built on. By finally giving these secret stabilizing muscles the attention they deserve, you're not just preventing injury or fixing imbalances. You're unlocking your body's true potential and setting the stage for gains you never thought possible. The foundation starts now, and your future self will thank you for finally paying attention to these forgotten heroes of human movement.